Hey, Brody. This is Heavy C78 out of Boise, Idaho. I just kind of watched your videos about the whole Fisher interview. Don't buy it. Don't buy it for a bit. Seems really staged. Does now that Fisher has the checkbox of being out in public, is that just another checkbox to move on to get his relocation done? Also, if he is really, truly hurt about the movement and on him, and he knows history of baseball, why don't you just make a deal with Oakland? Oakland has the money now. And I'm curious, with the whole being part owners back with the Giants, is this some sort of animosity of Giants are good since he's been owners with the A's and Giants won 3 World Series? Is he taking it out on the A's fans and trying to move it, like, and trying to create his own Giants success story or something? See you later. Bye.
Hi, Brody. This is David from Las Vegas. I'm outraged that our state and county legislators agreed to place the A's Stadium just 50 feet across the street from the 1 October Memorial site, the place where 58 souls lost their lives, the site of the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. If you're at the memorial site expecting a quiet place for reflection, you instead would be assaulted by the cheers and jeers and overall noise from the crowd at a baseball game or concert. Would New Yorkers approve putting a Yankees or Mets stadium next to the 9/11 site? If they want to stay at the Tropicana site, let them move to the northwest corner where the new casino hotel will block the noise. I'm very displeased that nobody seems to be aware or concerned about the sacrilegious situation. Thanks.
Hi, Brody. My name is Alex Gonzalez. I'm from Modesto, California. And I just wanted to say, like, hopefully the A's stay in Oakland, but how much of a chance is there that Vegas, instead of taking the A's from us, they get an expansion team? Thank you and for listening, and have a great day.
Hey, Brody. My name is Doug, and I live in Turlock. It's always been my retirement dream to go to more A's games, and my retirement dream is kind of shattered by them moving to Las Vegas. Always want to spend my retirement going to more A's games and going to A's games in Arizona in spring training. And I've been an A's fan all my life, and I actually built a camper van to do this. I retired last year in September, and I took my camper van out to Arizona this March to watch spring training games, and I made a YouTube channel about it. My YouTube channel is Holiday 10, and I documented the games for 10 days when I went out there. And then I came back with high hopes of being able to spend my retirement days and summers watching more A's games in Oakland. And then I found out in March that they're moving to Las Vegas, so my retirement dream is kind of shattered now. Anyway, I just want to let you know that them moving to Las Vegas has kind of messed up my retirement dream. And again, my name is Doug, and my YouTube channel is Holiday 10 if you want to check it out. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
Hey, Brody Brazil Nut. This is Will calling from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are so excited here to have the A's in Las Vegas at a real stadium, not a war zone. You know, why don't you do yourself a favor and everybody else, why don't you be a little more positive about a potential move? And for the players love to come to Las Vegas. They'd love to live here. The housing, there's so many more benefits than they do in the East Bay. Housing prices, crime, you know, all that stuff that you're not really paying attention to. And once you step it up, if you want to keep Oakland, why don't you, keep them in Oakland? Why don't you get some money out and buy the team? Get the city to buy the team. Come on, man. Okay, Brody, Brazil Nut. Hey, congratulations. I got to give you some kudos. So your subscriptions to your YouTube channel and all the other BS that you expound on, it's got to be growing like crazy, making the money.
Hello, Brody. This is Matt calling from Ignacio in northern Marin County. Las Vegas Athletics? Are you serious? Let the people of Nevada decide. Thanks.
Hey, Brody. This is Brian from Berkeley. I wanted to bring up a couple of what I think are underreported issues. One is there's a group called Schools Over Stadiums in Nevada collecting signatures to place the giveaway on the Nevada ballot for 2024. I understand they need about 140,000 valid Nevada signatures, at least 35,000 of which must come from each of their 4 congressional districts. And they could sure use our help in this effort. So I'm wondering if this gets on the ballot, would that spook the owners from approving the move? And if this is on the ballot and successfully blocks the funding, would that end the Las Vegas project? Or would John Fisher try to get a Las Vegas partner and sell $380 million worth of the A's to cover the shortfall? And the other issue is that Oakland Mayor Cal met with the commissioner in Seattle during the All-Star break and provided him and the owners with Oakland's effort to get a stadium deal. I wonder if she has galvanized a group of potential local owners who have the desire and the financial wherewithal to complete the stadium project in Oakland. The commissioner and the owners really do need to know that there's an option here. Thanks for all you do, you and Casey especially. You're the only people I really trust in this. Best wishes. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, Brody. This is Marty from Oakland, and I've made numerous comments on all of your videos, and I'm known as Rainbow Maid 1880, which ironically is just my daughter's old YouTube connection. In any case, I'm going to skip through all the emotional stuff. I've been an A's fan since I was 9 in 1971, watching the A's lose to the Orioles in the playoffs. Got to see the 3 World Series and then the breakup of the team. I mostly am troubled by this seemingly troubling connection between all of these hotels and casinos and Major League Baseball, as the commissioner. The whole thing seems to be sort of in concert and very almost shady. Like, I'd like to get to the bottom of all that because it just seems like the fix is in and they're using the A's as an example of what's going to happen to your team if you don't jump through all the hoops that we've set out for you. And I'd just like to get to the crux of what's going on with these casinos that are going to buy all these tickets and be part owners. It almost seems in a way kind of like a mob connection, which is really troublesome because, connecting my A's, my childhood favorite team, with this sort of new mob connection is really bothering me. So anyway, I'm going to call it. That's it, and hopefully you'll use this. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hey, Brody. My name is Isaac. I now live in Detroit, Michigan, but I am from Northern California, from Alameda to be precise. But this is more of a question than it is a comment. I do want to say your videos have really kept me in touch with what's going on with the A's. We don't really hear a lot about what's going on this side of the country. A lot of people just assume it's a done deal, even though, as you've been saying, it's not completely, not completely set in stone, and the numbers, may or may not work out. So the question I wanted to ask you is another guy I've been following a lot has been the former president of the Marlins, David Sampson, I believe his name is. And he has straight up said on his stuff that the A's are going to stay in Oakland, and he gives a bunch of reasons why he thinks this is all a ploy. So the question I wanted to ask you is, in so many words, what do you think of what he says? And do you buy it? Do you not buy it? I don't need to know what your opinion is because obviously, I follow the channel. But what are your thoughts on what David Sampson's saying that he firmly believes the A's are going to stay? Would just love to hear that. So anyway, thanks a lot. Keep up the good work, and we'll let's go Oakland.
Brody, it's Banks. I'm from Oakland, California. Growing up, I was a Warriors, A's, and Raiders fan. I'm telling you that I'm going to raise my kids Niners and Giants fans because I'm not raising them to be fans of teams from Nevada. So that's all I got to say. Loyal to the Bay. Love listening to you. Have a good one.
Hey, Brody, it's Jersey Ken from Ken Vasco. I've been a big fan of you since the beginning of July. And just wanted to know about Oakland, staying there and Las Vegas getting the expansion team like you talked about. I think, like the Vegas Knights, really were very successful as an expansion team, and I think the baseball team would be the same if they put the expansion there and leave the A's in Oakland, where I think the people deserve it. They've lost the Raiders twice already, and Las Vegas, one time to Las Vegas, and now they're going to lose the A's to Las Vegas. No, I'm going for that. So, the lifelong A's fan, peace out.
Hey, Brody, this is Brandon calling from San Francisco. I just want to first of all say thank you for all you're doing on the Las Vegas, Oakland, just investigating all that. And I'm curious to know what exactly you think the probability is that John Fisher has to sell the A's before even anything Las Vegas happens due to his business dealings with the Gap and all of that. I think it should be noted that he is historically a bad businessman, considering his previous company. So I was just curious to know how dire is his willingness to get rid of the A's for just a cash grab.
Hey, what's up, Brody? My name's Andres. I'm from San Leandro. I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to keep it short. I've been a fan since I was 7 years old, 24 now. Been going with my dad since. And it hurts a lot, but, taking it day by day. But my real question is about Mark Atanasio. I want to know if that's going to benefit us or if it's going to hurt us. Because, they're kind of in the same boat, but is he going to use it to help him? Or, you know how this goes. I don't. But, pretty much that's my question. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Brody. This is Dave from San Mateo. I left this message, I put it on your comments, but maybe because you're not reading your comments. Very quickly, in the A's situation with the unexpected cost, I'm very curious about the parking situation and who would have to pay for that, because I would think Bally's, in order for them to succeed in their plan, they're going to have a better parking situation. And since the limit is $380 million, what do you think the possible cost of something like would be? And who would be responsible for it? I'm thinking either Bally's or the A's, because the $380 million has already been allocated. So I'd love to see a short video specifically on that subject. Thanks.
This is Ed of Henderson, Nevada. First, Brody, I want to say I love your commentary you've been doing here about the A's move to Vegas. Let me get on with my message here. I was born and raised in Chicago, and I have now retired to Nevada. I've been to hundreds of Cubs and Sox games, and I was thoroughly disgusted with the lack of fan knowledge and interest when I went to an Aviators game here at the new Las Vegas ballpark. My heart goes out to all the A's fans because we went through this with the White Sox back in 1988 when Reinsdorf threatened to move the White Sox to St. Petersburg. So in conclusion, though, I'm not certain, based on what I've seen, that Vegas could actually support Major League Baseball. And I certainly know from what I've seen that they don't deserve to get the A's. So good luck in your battle. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully the Fishers will be bought out or something, and the A's will get to stay in the Bay Area. Thank you.
Hey, Brody. My name's Kevin. I'm calling from Las Vegas. All right. I'm watching your shows on YouTube. I got a couple of problems. You know, the A's say, well, they've been rooted in Oakland. People need to realize you guys are the third city that the Athletics have. They started in Philadelphia in 1901, and then they wound up moving to Kansas City, and then they moved to Oakland. So rooted in Oakland, they were rooted in Philadelphia in 1901, if you really want to get technical about it. So you guys were the third city they moved to. So Philadelphia got the Phillies, Kansas City got the Royals, you got the Athletics. So that was 1901. So rooted in Oakland, y'all weren't rooted in Oakland, you were rooted in Philadelphia back in 1901. There's one thing. Two, as a Vegas native, resident, not a native, I was born in Southern California, to be honest with you, 85% of the people that live here don't want a baseball team here. They don't want the Athletics, and I'll tell you why. This is the thing. UNLV, for many years, the basketball team, the Runnin' Rebels, from the 70s through the 90s, were the team of the city. And when Jerry Tarkanian left and the team started losing, people stopped going to the games. Nobody went to the games when Vegas loses. They don't go. If the Athletics do it, they're going to do the same thing. The Athletics said they would put more money into putting a winning team on the field. You even heard it when they were having the session. Okay, well, if you put a losing team out there, nobody in Vegas is going to go to the games, and that's a fact. So there's a whole nother thing. And three, you saying baseball doesn't work in Vegas, I hate to inform you, the Las Vegas Aviators were the Stars back in 1990. They've been here nearly 30 years. And people have gone to the game every year. The games were at a smaller venue, which was called Chapman Field. Now they play out in Summerlin at a ballpark there because Chapman Field has become antiquated like everything else in this town. It was built 40 years ago. But baseball does work, and everybody needs to remember the farm team for the Aviators are the Athletics. Shocker. Fourth, you were talking about, there's no other stadium that maybe they could play. There's a little stadium called Sam Boyd Stadium where the UNLV football team used to play before Allegiant was built. They can turn that into a baseball field. Yes, it's outdoors, but you've even said, how are you going to share a stadium with a major league and a minor league team? Oakland can use that. It's outdoors. If they play at 7 o'clock at night during the summer, it'll be fine. I mean, it's still 105, yes. They're not going to dome it, but you were talking about a place for them to play. I mean, I would love to see you guys keep the team. We would like an expansion team. We don't do other teams. The Raiders haven't done all that great since they come here from Oakland. The Knights were born here. This team goes crazy for the Knights, plus they won the Stanley Cup. And market size, I mean, does it really matter? 40?
Brody, this is Drew from Las Vegas. Wouldn't you agree Las Vegas might be perhaps the best sports market in the country? Think about it. Just 2.4 million people, 76 live nightly shows on the Strip, and a much higher proportion of employees not working traditional 9-to-5 shifts. Still, the Knights, the Aces, the Aviators, and the Raiders draw great crowds. Why?
Hey, Brody. My name is Patrick Vaughn. I live in McKinleyville, California, up near Eureka. Thank you for all the YouTube videos. They've been very interesting. 2 questions, just so I can kind of understand both sides of what's been going on. One, and we may not have access to all the information, but if possible, if you could get it or discuss it. One, what was the term sheet that the city approved for the A's? And 2, what was the term sheet the A's submitted? What were the differences between those 2 term sheets? May not have access to all that, but I'd be very interested to see what the differences were. Secondly, I've heard the A's or the city say that they had infrastructure funding for the stadium itself all lined up. I've also heard others say that no, they never activated the funding mechanism that was put in place. And I'd just like to get clarification on that, because that is a reason that the A's have given for walking away at this point. So anyway, those two items would be very interesting to me to kind of understand the history of how this all came to be. All right. Thank you very much for all your time and what you're doing.
My name is Matthew Green. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I frequently post on your video comment section. So my question is, many pro-Oakland proponents of keeping the A's in Oakland, the talking point that frequently comes up is that the Las Vegas or the A's should take a knee on the A's. Las Vegas should take a knee on the A's and go pursue an expansion team. I don't think this is a very good and a very well thought out plan, because an expansion team would be, they would have to pay in the hundreds of millions, possibly over $1 billion in an expansion fee, and they would have to, franchise value is probably $2 billion, and then they've got to build the stadium as well. Plus they're going to be competing against advanced bids, expansion bids from Portland and Charlotte, which have advanced expansion infrastructure whenever that RFP is issued. So my question is, why do these many pundits and many commentators and many people on the pro-Oakland side, I wish they would kind of get rid of this talking point and focus on other things, because it's very weak. Thank you.
Hey, Brody, it's Jackpot, living in Las Vegas. All right. Your videos are great. You do a fantastic job covering the Oakland A's. But when are you going to give in and just accept the fact that the A's are moving here? And like wave the red, white, blue, whatever flag, because you never give up. You have so much fight in you. I like the fight, but dude, the A's are moving to Vegas, just like the Raiders, just like an NBA team. And the last, there's 5 steps of grieving. And the last one is acceptance. When are you gonna wave the flag and just accept it? I think it'll make you and all your passionate A's fans, and the passion is unreal. It's top notch. But you just gotta accept it, man. And hey, why don't you move here? I mean, Spring Valley. That's where I live. Henderson, Summerlin, North Las Vegas. I mean, this is like the greatest place to live in the entire world. We have the best restaurants. We have the best clubs. We have the best entertainment. And it's only going to get better. I mean, jump on the bandwagon, man. Like, have you ever been to a Golden Knights game? I'm not even a hockey fan. And I went to the 3rd game of the season, and I thought it was the playoffs. And I asked the person next to me, is this the playoffs? Like, are we like in the finals? They're like, no, this is the 3rd game of the season. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there. Have a great day.
Hello, my name is Adam Hazel, calling from Morgan Hill, just a little south of San Jose. First off, Brody, just want to thank you for all the hard work you're doing and all the great videos you put up. Your YouTube videos, it became my lunchtime videos that I watch. It used to be hot ones, and now it's turned to Brody Brazil, Oakland A's relocation updates. So thank you for all the videos you're doing. What the Oakland A's mean to me is, I've always loved the A's. My whole life as a kid, I loved watching Big Mac and Jose Canseco
Loved watching Ricky Henderson, loved watching Dave Stewart, loved watching all those guys. Then the next era, loved, a few years after that, loved watching guys like Miguel Tejada. Then after that, Eric Burns, loved that area. This last era with Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, Ramon Laureano, loved this last era. Very sad to see all those guys go, and looking forward to the next era. For me, now that I'm a dad, my 10-year-old and 6-year-old, I've taken them to A's games and Giants games, and they have taken more to the A's than the Giants. And these last 3 years, I've been able to buy a bunch of Last Dive Bar stuff, and that is just the perfect name for the Coliseum. It just feels like it's a place where you just always feel welcome, and you just always feel like the people you meet there, the people you're going to see there regularly, they're all there for the right reasons, just for absolute love of baseball. They love watching the game. They love getting into it. And even though some nights are as low as 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 fans, it's all people that you love, that love the game, and it's always a good time. And my kids always have a blast there. And I really, really hope the A's, the ownership sells, and I hope they find a way to, someone like Joe Lacob or someone, keep the team in the Bay Area, build at Howard Terminal, build at the Coliseum. Either way is fine with me. Just keep the A's in Oakland, and that way for my family that has been A's fans for decades, that hopefully we can continue on for generations to come being A's fans. Once again, thank you, Brody. Thank you to all the A's fans. Thank you to Last Dive Bar. Thank you to Hal, the hot dog guy. Thank you to the Oakland 68s. If anything, if the A's end up moving to Oakland this summer has been absolutely awesome. Just having us just go at it and do our best to make our voices heard, that it's the ownership, it's not the fans. So anyway, thank you, Brody, and thank you, everybody.
Hey, Brody, this is Mike from Santa Cruz. I almost said Brazil. But anyway, what I would like to say is, as an A's fan and a baseball fan in general, it's hard not to feel disrespected by ownership and by the commissioner and his comments. It's just crazy how this commissioner's legacy is going to be disrespect of, the sport and the trophy at the end, the legacy of moving and legacy of disrespecting its fans. It's just, it feels like the sport has changed a lot from the business aspect since I was a kid growing up. And as a guy with 2 kids, I really don't want to get them involved with baseball. Like, why do I want them to fall in love with a team that doesn't care about them? Why do I want them to fall in love with a sport that is transient and is willing to uproot while claiming to be rooted in Oakland? So, that's what I wanted to say. Thanks, Brody.
Hello, Brody Brazil. This is John Fields calling you from San Francisco. But I had grown up in the San Diego area, so you're probably guessing correctly that I'm a former Charger fan. And I just wanted to kind of comment and say that you are honestly a great resource to have for Oakland A's fans. I wish that we had someone like you to constantly update us on, what stadium negotiations were with the Chargers, and just kind of rallying the troops on to go to which hearings, or kind of keep updated and everything like that. So keep up the fantastic work that you're doing with the Oakland A's and just the whole stadium negotiations, right? I wanted to ask, I guess, in kind of more of a broader question. You've done a great job with the A's, but I'm kind of curious a little bit more about what Tampa Bay is going through, because they are obviously the threat of relocation, and now we have the Milwaukee Brewers, with the threat of relocation. But I just wanted to see, I guess, if you had any insight into that, or in the Tampa Bay situation, or if there's kind of parallels between the Oakland A's and Tampa Bay, and anything that's going on with there, and possibly seeing more of that kind of content. I know it's definitely not your expertise, nor it is kind of your passion to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, but I think there could be a much broader conversation in terms of, say, MLB owners and other MLB and sports really just kind of strong-arming local governments in order to get their way. Kind of interesting to hear your thoughts, but again, keep up the fantastic work, Brody, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.
Hi, Brody. Mac and Raleigh here, and as they say, long-time viewer, first-time caller. So, other than Dave Stewart, what in the wide, wide world of sports has you convinced that Nashville is a, quote, lock for baseball's next expansion? The history of sports is full of groups who make stalking horse bids for expansion teams only to end up as bridesmaids rather than the bride. Just ask Walter Payton of the NFL's St. Louis Stallions, or George Shinn in the NHL's Hampton Roads Rhinos, or perhaps ask Art Angotti in Major League Baseball's Indianapolis Arrows. Personally, I'll be sad when baseball expands to 32 teams, as I suspect Bud Selig's dream of radical realignment will finally be realized, obliterating the few shreds of tradition that remain in the game. But I also suspect a number of well-organized and extremely well-financed groups to emerge, seemingly from nowhere, and those groups will make Nashville's admission far from a certainty. Assuming the A's in the race stay put, we will see an expansion applicant from Las Vegas, and one from Montreal, and there may be others from places like Austin, Charlotte, Portland, Raleigh, Salt Lake City, or San Antonio. Come to think of it, even Memphis might be a better fit for Major League Baseball than Nashville. Like Nashville, Memphis has a very long, very rich minor league tradition. But unlike Nashville, a Memphis team wouldn't have to compete with both Major League Soccer and the NFL for gate revenue or corporate sponsorship dollars. Don't get me wrong, Brody, I don't think Nashville is a bad place for Major League Baseball to go. I really don't. But I do wonder if you aren't doing something that longtime baseball executive Gabe Hall used to warn against. Gabe would say, don't look at the hole in the donut. Look at the whole donut. And with Nashville, Brody, I fear that you're looking at the hole in the donut and not the whole donut. Thanks, and take care.